Hi, I'm Marissa Anita. I'm an Indonesian actress and journalist who would love to see more complex female characters on screen in Indonesia and throughout Asia. And that is why you should listen to me.
So, Marissa, what drew you into acting?
Yes, Alkira, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's a great pleasure to be able to share my thoughts with you. So, what drew me into acting? Well, I think it was something that is absolutely gradual for me because I grew up watching a lot of films. It was from the era where, we would watch films through VHS and then Laserdisc and then VCD and then DVD. For me, there's something about watching films that bring me to a kind of peace. It's like a beautiful escape that I go to, I would say. It is, I think, a way for me to understand the world and people a little bit more, and I find it fascinating. And I never knew I liked acting until senior high school and university, actually. So when I was at uni, I did drama as one of my subjects or the subjects that I took. I acted in one production or university production. I played Helena in Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. And since then, I just fell in love with acting. Yeah, I never looked back since then, and that was in 2004.
You've been in the public eye for so many years now, also as a presenter and a journalist. I'd really love to talk a little bit about what it's like being a woman in the film and television industry in Indonesia. What are some of the challenges you face? Have you had to deal with things like sexism?
Well, being an actress in Indonesia at the moment, I personally feel it's a very exciting time to be an actress in Indonesia because I see or I observe that more film directors and writers are writing and directing films with interesting or complex female characters, which is always exciting for me to play. Just to mention some of the directors that I've personally worked with as well, like Joko Anwar or Lucky Kuswandi. Joko Anwar wrote and directed in Perigor, and then Lucky Kuswandi, of course, recently directed Ali and the Queens, and previously In the Absence of the Sun, and Camila Andini with Uni and her recent film Nana. So these films have very interesting and complex female characters. What I mean by complex female characters, that characters that are layered. We're not just one dimensional character, just nice or just pretty. It's like, it's good. Yes, we are nice. Yes, we can be pretty, but we can kick ass too sometimes. We can be feisty. Sometimes we can be angry. Sometimes we can be sad. We can be many, 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 many things. We can present different emotions. And I think right now I see more and more of that in the industry, and I would like to see more and more of that in the film industry. And regarding, for example, the thing that you mentioned, like Me Too movement, I am actually glad that the local film industry continuously raises the awareness regarding creating a safe space for all film workers, of course, not only female, but also male, for everybody. And I see that it is becoming a standard for some film production houses in Indonesia. They put the protection from sexual violence clause in our work contract, actually. And I see that already in some of the film production houses here. And hopefully this will become a standard for all film production houses in Indonesia.
So do you think the Me Too movement back in 2017 really had a big impact on the Indonesian film and TV industry?
I think it was a start. Because it was such a high profile case when Harvey Weinstein was, he fell from his throne and, like become however he is now, And that became a very good example because Hollywood is almost like, like we see Hollywood as a huge industry. And if Hollywood is aware of that already, then I think it's a good thing that we try to create the same safe space in Indonesia and in the Indonesian film industry as well. Yeah.
You were talking about, I guess, female representation. What is it like behind the camera, in front of the camera, across Southeast Asia? Obviously, more needs to be done, but what should be done? What can be done to elevate female voices?
Well, I think I would love to see more films in Indonesia have better representation of female stories, and we can do that by having more female filmmakers, such as writers, directors, editors, even DOP, because there's such a thing that is called the male and female gaze. I'll give you an example. I have recently been asked by a friend to read the script that he has written. And while reading his script, I noticed that the female character is written from the male perspective. Like there are things that this female character does that makes me feel, nah, I don't think we do that. I don't think that's the way we do things. It's like maybe that's the way men do things, but maybe not us, female. So I gave him my thoughts and feedback, and fortunately, he welcomed them. And of course, I would do the same thing. For example, if I wrote a script and there are male characters in it, and I would want a male perspective, whether my male characters ring true or not, I would do the same thing.
Now, last night I watched one of your more recent films, Ali and Ratu Queens. Now, you play a very complex character, a very strong woman who's had to make some very tough decisions. I'm very interested in how you choose these type of roles. What is your process? What are you looking for when picking a role to play?
Yeah, usually I am very interested in knowing who the director or writer is, and I usually ask if I can read the script beforehand. And if I find the role fascinating, and if I find that there is room for complexity in this character, I definitely go for the audition.
And are you starting to see more of these scripts come your way that have these complex female characters compared to, say, when you first got into the industry?
I think I get a mixed bag. Yeah, usually, usually when the character is not complex or multidimensional, usually I just skip it. I skip auditioning for it. But yeah, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. I would love to see more and more scripts showing complex female characters. I mean, that would be awesome. Yeah.
And I understand because you're doing a screenwriting course at the moment yourself,
Yeah.
so we might see things from you in the future.
Hopefully, it's like in that batch, there are several female actually. Yeah, there are at least four. 4 out of 7. Not bad, huh? Sorry, 7 like this, not this.
No, that's great. I look forward to seeing that. Thank you so much for your time today, Marissa.
You're welcome, Alkira. Thank you so much. I had such an enjoyable time talking to you.